Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Griffin Publication once again to launch an amazing book by author Partha Prawal. And the name of the book is Autobiography of a Paedophile. And we will speak more about the book. But at the foremost, we have to express our gratitude to our chief guest, Dr. Ajay Kummar Pandey. We would introduce him to you all and our guest of honor, Professor Dr. Shiv Sethi. Now, let's speak about, I'll share the screen so that you all can know who Dr. Ajay sir is. Today, we are facing lots of glitches. Hope you will cooperate. Can you see the screen, everyone? Anymore?
Yes, I can.
Can you see now?
Yes.
So when we speak about virtuosity in the arena of law, we cannot miss out one name, Dr. Ajay Kummar, the prodigy whose vast experience is par excellence. Dr. Ajay Kummar Pandey is a well-known personality of India who has earned laurels in varied fields ranging from advocacy, media, corporate, international diplomacy and foreign trade, social and political work, aviation, chamber of trade and commerce, education, films, drama, poetry and writing, and also as a corporate business coach. What not? Dr. Ajay Kummar Pandey is an advocate whose expertise and skills are well known in the Supreme Court as well as the high courts. He is the founder of 4C Supreme Law International, Delhi, Mumbai, and Dubai, one of India's leading international law firms in the areas of commercial, criminal, civil, and constitutional law. Besides being an advocate and consultant, Dr. Ajay Kummar Pandey is also a senior journalist and the national spokesperson of Lok Janshakti Party. He is an alumnus of the prestigious University of Allahabad, now Prayagraj, and is a senior member of various national and international bodies, including the International Council of Jurists, UK, Harvard Square, and London. Dr. Ajay Kummar Pandey is known to be the only advocate in India having ground-level work experience in handling matters involving litigation abroad. Sir, welcome you, and we are highly elated to have you today with us to launch an amazing book. We will talk about the book. We'll hear about this from Partha. Welcome to Griffin Publication once again, and we will hear amazing talks and amazing words from Sir too. Let me introduce Dr. Professor Shiv Sethi, who is a renowned columnist. He is a guest of honor today. He is a renowned columnist, critic, reviewer, and educationist. He is the former head of the Department of English Language and Linguistics at Dev Samaj Postgraduate College for Women, Firozpur, Punjab. Dr. Professor Shiv Sethi, PhD, MPhil, and 4 times MA, is the former head of the Department of English Language and Linguistics at Dev Samaj Postgraduate College for Women, Firozpur, for the last 17 years. His research articles have been published in various journals of international repute, including the Tribune, the Hindu, the Hindustan Times, the New Indian Express, the Deccan Herald, the Hitavada, and the Daily Post, and in several newspapers of neighboring countries like Nepal and Pakistan too. He has presented his papers at various universities in India and abroad. He is a guide for research scholars for MPhil thesis. So we have 2 eminent personalities here. Now coming back to Dr. Ajay sir. Sir, we have Partha Prawal. He is an eminent journalist, writer. He also runs web portals. So I would first request you to speak a few words, encouraging authors coming up and writing book about not only fiction, but related to law. All yours, sir. A few words.
Okay. First of all, thank you, Mosmiji, for inviting me to this August gathering on this Saturday evening when the weekend is already in the progress and people are in mood of relaxation and celebration. And here we are going to discuss a very, very important, sensational, and a timely topic. I will prove it, because being a lawyer, I have to prove everything which I'm going to say here. So I will prove that why it is the well-timed, the trending, and the need of the hour. I don't know how Partha has got this idea, this topic, or rather it was his novel which prompted the Chief Justice of India to talk about this. So let's find out, let's decode during the course of interaction. Yes, in this era, where I think Professor Sethi would also agree with me and all the August gathering, it's a big challenge to keep literature alive. Because the definition of everything, right from life to individual to relationship, is becoming e-commerce and digital. And in this changing or the trending or the time after the transition, writing a novel, that too hard copy, and some publishers coming forward to publish it, is really indeed a matter of courage. I know what you are doing is the need of hour and is going to remain there. But how many people with this kind of blind faiths are there? People often follow the trend. And the trend is something social media, Facebook, LinkedIn, even the in our time, I think Professor Sethi would belong to my era. So he would agree, it was the time of writing love letters and love poem and poetries. Now, when I talk to these days girls, they say, sir, hamara kaam to SMS pe ho jata. So, so at this time, I mean, writing a novel, thinking of it, but probably said that. So kudos, and I would like to hear. And definitely, I'm very happy and elated to be here to talk about this novel, both as a lawyer. My background as a student is also of literature. So that further brings me close to the topic, being a journalist, which is literature in hurry. I don't know how you define it, and practicing it in 9 countries. And most of the publication which is being mentioned, where the Professor Sethi is a eminent writer, published. I have been the editor or associated with those publications in the senior positions in 9 countries and 9 states of India. So really, this is something I'm looking forward to rather than being chief guest, listening all of you. And really, it is a very distinguished panel. I read about Partha. I saw the profile of Professor Sethi, and of course, I had the small appointment of talking to Mosmi today. So there it is. And I would now like, before I say something, I would like to listen first to the part that why this topic, how it came to his mind, why novel, why in this era of transition, where even no judgment, but no comment, even poetry is, or the poetry symposiums are not the talk of the town. Even the stage artists are in a big crisis, and the era of the drama or the stage plays are over.
I would request everyone to keep your microphones muted, please, when our chief guest is speaking.
Yeah, it's the time of Netflix and OTT era, where even the drama and the stage plays are being watched over there. And yes, Partha represents a very important and very historical literary part of the India, that upper part of Bengal and Assam, known for their contribution in Indian literature, be it English, be it Hindi, be it even Assamese, and we have renowned poets. Of course, Tagore belongs to that and the Gitanjali. But I doubt today generation knows about it, is interested in it, and everything is being commercialized. I see. I'm a student of management, and so I don't. I'm open. But the question which I would like to understand, why this topic, how this topic, does he gave the idea to the CM of Assam or the CM of Assam gave him the idea, because this very topic is political topic now. The child marriages in the Assam. The people put behind bars. The underage girls who are married, not going to hospital for deliveries, being fearing or apprehensive of being arrested. Who is at the fault? Of course, here we are talking of one person got entangled in a criminal case regarding this law. But here too, I see the entire Assam falling prey to it. So is it his novel or is the other way? So let's listen it from Partha himself.
Right, sir. Thank you so much, sir, for your valuable words. Dr. Professor Sethi, so few words you have been writing in various newspapers, you have been reviewing so many books of different genres, themes. So a theme completely different, autobiography of a pedophile. So how would you express this and how would you inspire or what would you convey to the author today before we know more about the book through the words of the author himself?
First of all, I'm really, grateful to Mosmi, to you especially, because you've given me this opportunity to share the dais with the intellectuals. Especially, it's a pleasure to be with Dr. Ajay here, who's a renowned, advocate, and he wears rather many hats on his head. He has several accomplishments to his credit. It's a pleasure to be with you, eminent chief guest. And I'm equally delighted to be with the author, Partha, who has taken up this very sensitive topic to write about. When I talk of writing in the modern scenario, I can make a different statement because I am the one who gets, opportunities to be with the youngsters every day. I have to be in my class for 4-5 hours. The students are there with me. So there's a decline, in the taste for reading. Students are not very passionate about reading. As the chief guest rightly pointed out, that we are more, into OTT platforms, Netflix. This is what it makes us delighted. And we have, there's a bankruptcy prevails in terms of reading. And to choose this topic particularly in this scenario, that gives me a thought to reflect over. I'm very sure, I'm very keen to read the book. As a reviewer, I think you will definitely send me the copy of the book in a couple of days.
Sure.
And it would be a delight to, to understand the different dynamics of this book. As far as the writing goes, any topic we take up, a sensitive topic as he has taken up, the creative writing has different dimensions, Mosmi, as I understand. Creative writing for Wordsworth is, he says that it's a spontaneous overflow of powerful emotions recollected in peace and tranquility. Whereas W.B. Yeats is of the opinion that writing involves a lot of mending and unmending. And Tursley says that it is labored, is labored. So a process of writing varies from person to person. This is my personal belief. But all the writers, they're driven by passion, as Partha is also driven by passion for writing. He wants to engage with the society, and the contribution that he is going to make to society through his writing is going to be remarkable. They're the voice of the society. Such topics need to be discussed. Such topics need to be talked about in public so that awareness is there. Otherwise, a kind of taboo we have constructed around us. We don't want to talk of child marriages. We don't want to talk of the sexual abuses inflicted upon the children. These topics are very relevant in our society. And though we are living in a modern society, things are changing around, but still the taboos are quite persistent. It's very difficult to demolish these taboos. In this book, I'm very hopeful that he must have, taken up the different perspective, and let's see what's there in the store for me. I would be able to, make it a very beautiful review. And as a reviewer, I would say that the job of the author is to create a book, as he has done a wonderful job. So now our part begins. We, the reviewers, have our own duty. We'll give it a genuine, authentic review so that the public makes the sagacious choice about it. My congratulations to the author, and my lot of gratitude to the entire team of Griffin. They have burnt midnight oil. Literally, they've burnt midnight oil. At times, I had to interact with Mosmi on certain projects in the past few days. She said that she's totally occupied with certain projects. I think this book was one of the projects on the platter. And finally, we are happy to have this book. All good wishes to the author and the entire team of Griffin Publication. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for your inspiring words, sir. Now, Partha Prawal, the author of the book, Autobiography of a Paedophile. Yes, our chief guest today has, twice asked, yes, Partha, why this book? What is this book about actually? Because when I took to publish this book, Partha had inquired, will you publish this book? Yes, because so many people were just, they were skeptical about the theme of the book, and they were asking, like, is it the autobiography of the author himself? Is it his story? Why the autobiography of a pedophile? What happens to him? Actually, whether the person, the character, the protagonist is a pedophile or what, we do not know. We would like to know from you, Partha. Yes, Partha, why this book? Why the title? And how did you come up and with the story?
Thank you, Mosumi. Thank you very much. Before I start, I'd like to thank Ajay sir and Dr. Sethi sir for such insightful words. I really feel honored, and I also thank all my friends and my seniors who have joined on my request to this launch. Coming back to the question that why the name Autobiography of Pedophile, actually, the name just came to me. I was thinking this story was there in my mind for, say, while I was doing my graduation. If this happens to a guy, if this happens to a girl, or if something goes this way, how will that person react to? So that time, but as you know that the pressure of studies and everything, this story it got sidelined. Then while this COVID stuck and everything was shut, so then the doors of my brain opened, and I decided to write a collection of short stories, and I would name it that that the word pedophile would be there, but how I'm going to do it, I don't know. Previously, I have written 3 or 4 short stories, and most of the short stories have been from the first person perspective. So I thought that why not go forward taking this story in a first person perspective. So when I started jotting down, and I completed hardly some 1,000 words, then I thought that maybe autobiography would sound quite nice to go along with it. Now, the main challenge was that to make the word pedophile accepted in the society, because I still remember it was late 2021 when I started the story, the book. So I just shared the name on social media, and out of 100 comments, 75 or 80 were actually abuses to me. And people were really telling me that why this name, is this a marketing gimmick? So the answer lies in the book. I cannot reveal much about the title, because title and the story and the title, they go along together. And that's it. And yeah, I don't know our CM sir got the idea from me or not, but I think a lot of people who know some bit of the story, they have been telling me the same thing, that I think your CM has got the idea from your book, perhaps.
That's good. Partha, a brief about your book, so that, see, our chief guest, he is a renowned advocate. So we just want to bring in the various dynamics or the various, issues you have portrayed or projected or pen pictured in your book. so that we can really put it out to the society, like this happens, and how can law help us? How can, law get into this and tell us that this is right, this is wrong, and what should we do?
The story is very simple. The story is very simple. It is this, the story is about a guy. He has got a very simple life. He enjoys his life. He's a journalist by profession who started his career in science. I mean, graduation, he completed his graduation from a science background, but he was not inclined towards science. He was always into writing and everything. So after his graduation, he goes into journalism. So while being a journalist, he had, in a very short span of time, he earns a name for himself. But then something happens in his life. Something happens that I cannot say what happens, and his entire social image, his entire everything starts crumbling, and he is charged under several laws of the IPC, especially since the word pedophile is there. So definitely it's revolves around pedophilia. So, but at that time, the POCSO Act was yet not implemented. So my story is before POCSO came into effect. So how he came under the ambit of law, the story is all about that, and how he comes out of it, or he goes deeper into it. That's the story.
Right, great. Now, as we are speaking about your book, Paedophile, Dr. Ajay sir, you are here with us. Nobody can, speak about this better than you today. Like, there are so many such cases, sir, where we find, a man, gets entangled in such cases where the person may not be actually, he may not be the sinner, but he is the victim, but the victim card is played by somebody else. For example, we see many such cases, harassment cases, and sometimes all cases are not true. Some cases may be fake, but when a person gets entangled in such cases, it's very difficult for a middle-class boy or a job doer, a journalist, to come out of such, such complaints, you can say, such, So what, how can law help us, or why is this happens? Do we have any solution to this? There are so many cases where people are entrapped. You have to unmute yourself, sir.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So before I answer your question, I would like to, as a senior, as a slightly more experienced, both as a journalist and a writer, to my record, I have written so far 13 books. But it's all about law, politics, the one who sells, the one who makes money. And really, Partha deserves a big congratulation, because he has attempted or tried to attempt the uncharted path of the publication world, and as also to Mosmi. Because see, today I also I am in the company of so many publishers and TEDx Talk people, and we go. People plan a book, or people even plan a story or a film like Pathan, which is a big box office hit. There's a very good film, Abba. I don't know if people have heard about it. No? Legally speaking, I'm referring to this film because it represents the true character of the law, the judicial system of the country. If you people are aware of it, then I will just give the reference. Otherwise, in short, I will narrate this story. So if you can give me a clue that you want me to narrate the story of this film, Abba.
I haven't watched it. I do not know about others.
Okay, so in short, I will refer to this story. The story about it's a farmer. He reads in a newspaper about some government scheme to get a loan for a well. कुएं के लिए, गांव में कुएं के लिए there is a government scheme. So he being a farmer, he felt that with this loan, with this well, he can have good crops, good productivity, because irrigation was a problem in his village. So he goes to the department, takes a loan and he ends up in the jail because his entire well is stolen. गांव से कुआं ही चोरी हो गया. So the story is that so many commissions and agent and everybody, asking for his cut, that at the end, what money he was left with, it was not even enough to buy a rope. Forget about the well. So now the issue was, he talked to those officers and those agents and those middlemen and the mukhyas and the MLA and the MP, and he said, "Sahab, mera to koi fault nahi hai. Now I am supposed to repay. From where I will repay this loan? I don't have even well. So where is the crop? Where is the production? Where is the selling? Blah, 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 blah. And you people have taken cut. Now it is your duty to save me." So there's a character in the film, a lawyer, like me, who people have, I don't know, deliberately invited me. So he goes to a lawyer. He says, "Okay, what is to be done about it? Because I have not committed any crime. This is the real story." And at every stage, I was telling them not to do this, move my file, but nothing was happening. He was struggling. The whole film was the struggle. He waits for 6 months, file is not moving because the clerk is asking for money. Then at the end, somebody, some friends or an advocate like me, he again goes to advocate. He said, "De yaar, duniya hai, aise hi chalti hai." So he pays. Or last mein wo aake कुछ नहीं मिलता है, सिर्फ एक रस्सी रह जाती है. तो एडवोकेट साहब कहते हैं, "Yes, I can take you out from this problem, but where is my fees? I'm an advocate. I too have a family." कहता, "अब तो मेरे पास रस्सी बची है, ये वकील साहब. अब या इसमें तो मैं लटक जाऊं या आप फीस में ले लो, कि मेरे पास तो वही ऑप्शन है कि यूज दिस रोप टू हैंग." तो वकील साहब कहते, "चल भाई, तू रस्सी दे दे." And then he tells him, he drafts a complaint and sends him to local police station and asks him to file an FIR that the village well has been stolen. And now I think it has direct linkage to the novel of Partha. There's a story. And the investigation starts. It is for the police to find out that was there a well? Was there not a well? To tha. Because even the district magistrate has satisfied it. पानी भी निकला है, MLA साहब ने फीता काटी है. So legally speaking, saying that well doesn't exist is not possible. Now, a well is not there. But the entire paper chain is saying that well is there. But physically well is not there. So in the eyes of the law, it is the case of theft. कुआं तो चोरी हो गया साहब. अब now FIR is also lost. Now investigation is to be done. Police has to reach to some conclusion that we call it in the legal parlance, frame the charge sheet. In that, either he will say the crime was committed or crime is not committed. Then the charge sheet has to be submitted to the court, where the magistrate or the judge has to take cognizance. The sections being put there is right, not right. Can this be taken for cognizance? Crime has been committed or not committed, or he is not satisfied, so he sends it back for the reinvestigation and blah, blah. So this is a very, very logical film, very near to our life. But look at the tragedy. The film was a big flop. And here is a story like Pathan or, some Valentine Day or something like some chocolate, and it sells. It makes a box office hit. So the question before an author or a publishing house or a journalist, because that happens with us also as a journalist when I was a journalist for over 35 years. I'm seeing something, I'm asked to write something, and I'm told something else sells. So what do you write? And then as a journalist, I'm asked to be objective. Recently, I was speaking at a function at a All India Journalist Conference, where people were blaming media of, I said that, look, it's very easy to blame media or we writers because you are saying I need to be objective. When I'm objective, I'm branded as Andhbhakt. When I'm writing against Modi ji, then I'm branded as anti-Modi. So you are hell-bent to put a brand on me. That's number one problem. Second thing, you want me to be objective. Now then I have Ramdhari Singh Dinkar at my back, waking me up in the night, asking me to read Mahabharata or Kurukshetra, where he says, समय उनका भी लिखेगा इतिहास जो तटस्थ हैं आज. The time is going to write about the history of the people who are neutral. So what I'm supposed to do? You tell me as a journalist.
Absolutely.
So this is one. So there he daring and you daring and reviving. I will come the importance of it. It is going to remain there, I'm sure. But before I comment on the legal part and the political part of the novel, I would like to express my opinion on the artistic and the literary part on the side of what Professor Sethi has said, that as a reviewer of the book, as the critic of the book, or the market response of the book. So it reminds me the story of kids. And I have a big debate with one of the professors in my student life. There's a poem by kids. If I am able to recall the title because it's all long back, La Bella Sans de Mercy, which means in French, a beautiful woman without heart. And I think nobody else but Professor Sethi will absolutely agree with me. It is being taught, I don't know, these era. I come from an university which has renowned English laureates like Professor Malti Tiwari, Professor Plus Estra, even this Firaq Gorakhpuri Sahab, Harivansh Rai Bachchan Sahab. They are the people who were the teachers who studied there and kind of thing. Firaq Gorakhpuri once commented that Hindustan mein Angrezi kaun janta hai? Mujhe chhod. He was not ready to even admit anybody else that they know English. So they said, sir, kuch to log honge. To kaha, haan, 1.5 log aur hain. 1.5. If you are pressing me so much, then I am the only Indian who knows English. But if you are pressing me so much, though Firaq Gorakhpuri is known as Urdu poet and Urdu laureate, but the fact is that he was English laureate as well of the same level, of the same caliber. तो he said, ठीक है, इतना इंसिस्ट करते हो तो थोड़ी दया करते हैं, थोड़ी गेस्चर्स करते हैं, थोड़ा ग्रेटिट्यूड दिखाते हैं, and I will give the name of 1.5%. अभी भी 2 नहीं सर, 1.5. बोले हाँ 1.5. Well, who are those 1.5? People would have heard this, or maybe you will be enlightened to know this. He said, I can take one Mr. Radhakrishnan, who was the president of India at that time, that he knows English, his book on Gita and the consciousness. And he said, who is that other half? Well, that Jawahar could be taken. Now that Jawahar was Jawaharlal Nehru, the Prime Minister of India. So coming from that university, I raised this debate over there in one of these. I don't know, it happens still in university because people today coming and joining English literature, I don't know what's the state of affair. Because again, it's at every level. People would like to go for commerce, people would like to go for BBA, people would like to go for law, all money-making professions. But literature, I don't know. Journalism even is a big question. When I joined journalism, again, it's a very interesting story. But if time permits, I will tell you that after working for 2 years, I was not paid a single penny. So I went to my editor. She happens to be, again, a very renowned journalist of India. She was Lucinda S. Dhawan. She was my editor, basically an American, but married to Chief Justice of Bihar, Rajiv S. Dhawan. So she, by virtue of being the wife of the Chief Justice of Allahabad High Court and then the later Chief Justice of Bihar, she was here. And she was my editor, under whom I started my journalism career. So she laughed. I said, Madam, what is this? 2 years? Not a single penny. And he was laughing. He said, I'm sorry you were taking it the other way around. But the fact is that who asked you to become a journalist? I said, what do you mean? I wanted to be a journalist. I was interested. I write well. You have published me. You've given me job. You're publishing me every day. But when I'm asking for money, oh, no, you don't know. Journalism is the profession of rich people. So they do it for their, hobby, not for the money. So if you want to be earning money out of this profession, then my boy, you are still young. It's not too late. Do something else. It's a different story when I met her after many years. And there, I don't know what kind of crowd we have, but there is a wisdom here. I would like to assure Partha with this personal experience. I met her after a few years in Patna when Dhawan Saab became the Chief Justice of Bihar. I was reading a news item in a newspaper. I saw the name, so I assumed that if he is here, then she would be here. And I called at the Chief Justice Bihar residence landline those days and asked for her. It was a big kind of tension over there that who is asking for Madam Justice. But I said, you just tell her. And somehow on a rickshaw, on a 12-acre bungalow, with all this gun-toting security staff, I landed on a rickshaw and they were all surprised. I said, who is this man coming to Chief Justice in a rickshaw? Anyhow, I told him I am supposed to meet ma'am. So they were much more surprised. और उन्होंने कहा कि मैडम तो बाथरूम में है, आपको इंतजार करना पड़ेगा. मैंने कहा नहीं, आप उनसे जा कह दीजिए अजय आया. They were much more कि भैया ये कौन सा आदमी है जो he is not allowing her the privacy also. Keh raha, even if she's in bathroom, go and inform him. But that was the relationship I enjoyed with my editor, and that was probably the Guru Sis Parampara, which again is at a stake. तो मैं गया तो मैंने उनसे यही कहा कि मैडम, I have two news for you. बोली हाँ बोलो. मैंने बोला one is the bad news and one is the good news. So which one you want to listen first? So she said कि तुम पहले bad सुना दो यार. Because we journalists are taught, Partha will agree with me that when a dog bites a man, it's not a news. When a man bites a dog and dog dies, it's a news. So we always look forward to bad one as a journalist. So he said, bad सुना दो. मैंने कहा bad ये है कि I proved you wrong. Because he would always tell me that I can't be a journalist and can't be a rich person. Whensoever it was the talk of money. So I said, bad news is proving a guru is wrong. So I proved you wrong. He said, what do you mean by this? I said, I mean by this, you used to tell me throughout the life, throughout I was working for the Delhi newspaper under you, that was Northern India Patrika, a sister concern of Amrit Bazar Patrika. At that time, we had 42% circulation in UP alone. So it was the largest circulated English daily of Uttar Pradesh, Lucknow, Raebareli, Allahabad, and Banaras. So she said, how? I said, I'm now a journalist working at Gulf News, so I'm paid very well. I'm a rich man and I'm a journalist. So the wisdom is stick to your passion. And now I come back to Keats. So the usual thing which is being taught is that, what is the meaning of this phrase or the word or the title, La Bella Sansti Mercy? So my ma'am also taught the same. And then it was a discussion. So I said, sorry. Keats is writing in another backdrop. And the moment you change the backdrop, the meaning gets changed. This I'm not saying. It's Arnold, the English critic, has said it while defining or writing about the various or reviewing the work of many other laureates like Shakespeare, Keats, William Wordsworth. He said, no, it's not, it is it. It's not, it is it is the state of mind which decides what is what. So maybe in the French background, a lady could be beautiful, but without heart. in my background, in my system of faith, that is India, that is Bharat, that is the Bharat Bhumi, maa to maa hai. A lady could be ugly, could be beautiful, not beautiful, attractive, not attractive, but motherhood hai uska. And when there is a motherhood, she can't be without heart. Because for being a doctor, you need a qualification later on. First, you need kindness in your heart. You need that affection. I could be a lawyer at a later stage, but without the attitude of helping people, having empathy and sympathy for the sufferings, I can't be a lawyer as a professional. So I said, an omen, it is too derogatory to define this poetry like that. So she said, no, I will not take this blowing in the air, saying something. You have to prove. I said, yeah, I'm ready to prove. So she said, okay, go on. So I said, my argument in support of that a lady can't be without hurt comes from 1885, the first book of Keats, Endymion. Many people would not know it. People know Keats by 3 creations. And after that, he dies. He dies at a very young age, 24. But he said his first book was Endymion. And there is an Egyptian poet who says, life is long, art is fleeting. So I said, probably this art is the beautiful lady, which Keats is personifying here as Alas de la Sans de Mercy. Because we as an artist, we as a creator, are not that low level. Our imagery, our fortifications are slightly at a bigger stage. We're not thinking that a small window. Just like for a poet, a mere girl, allowing to be objective to write such a beautiful poem and become famous for lifelong. We are still talking today. So 1885, the first book of Keats comes and is rejected by the world of the critics, the entire, and he goes mad. Because I think here, look at Porto's statement. The idea of this novel came to his mind when he was in graduation. And from there, then now, then COVID, then working, struggle, probably 10 years, 12 years. Then comes the first novel. Now, I don't know. He may be, or it usually happened that his second best novel would come in 1 year, 6 months. Who knows? He already have a ready plot.
He already has a plot.
Yeah,
He
see,
already has a plot.
So the journey, the first journey is of 12 years. The second journey would be of 2 months.
Right, sir.
So Porto is not going to put his best in the second. That is by default. But first one, he has put his, as Professor Sethi said, midnight while. Why only midnight while? Sweat and blood. Life, prime of his youth. Instead of out on Valentine's Day with girlfriend, his girlfriend was the book and the novel, sitting somewhere in the dark corner. And he's writing this. And I feel I've done a damn good work. So that beautiful lady is the art, which attracts every year thousands of young men like Porto. Be a painter, be a poet, be a journalist, be a sculpturist. वो पागल हो जाता है उस beautiful art को, वो लड़की को देख.
Right, so herein, so we'll just sir has really put forth beautiful points, the art, the beauty, again, I remember beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder, if not mistaken, right? So Partha, while, see, Ajay sir has given us so many inputs, good words. We have come to his passion. He has always followed his passion. He was a journalist and he said, why can't a journalist make money? So your book is like about a person, character of the book, the protagonist of the book, is a journalist. So what kind of struggle did you face while, making him, face the trap or getting him in the net of that, legal trouble? Did you study law books? Like, how could you, go so deep into it that, sections and all, and that the police, the lawyer, the protagonist consulted? So did you go through legal books, or how could you, describe such, scenes in a detail?
Before, as you are passing, one second, Partha,
Sure.
one second. Before, as you are passing it, let me put my
Yes, sir.
legal part to it.
Yeah.
What is law per se, this subject? I don't understand. So I always ask, a crime is a crime. You change the backdrop, then the crime should not change. Now, to make it more clear, killing is a crime per se, if you say. Fine, accept it. But if I don a green uniform or a khaki uniform and I kill someone, then I'm rewarded. Veer Chakra, Paramveer Chakra. But if I kill in this white shirt, even for my self-defense, I'm a criminal. This is one part of the law. So similarly, look at this act. This is very relevant. What this act is, what POSCO says. This is a silent crime happening. This is one crime about which people don't want to talk. There are two types of crimes. One crimes, you shout at top of your voice. You file false allegation also. You are snatched with a mobile phone costing 8,000. You will go and make a statement that no, my mobile phone was an iPhone 40. 1 lakh. Here it is the other way around. There's a crime. You go to the seniors or elders in the family, because it is tragic, but it is hard truth. Still today, the rape committed is not by strangers, but by known people. 72% rape, which is reported, is committed by the people who are near and dear to you, who are not strangers. So I tell people, you don't need to be afraid of strangers. You need to be afraid of your friends, family. The another starking fact is that out of 100 rapes, 91% of rape are committed in daylight, not in dark, not in the night. Coming back to this act, there I will end. How this act is, I'm raising this question. The state of affairs of the POSCO is that the law per se, because as you have talked much about sections, so I couldn't stop myself. The law says that if there is even marriage, which is happening in Assam right now, below the age of 18 for a girl, it is crime. It is crime under two sections. One, POSCO Act, and second, Hindu Child Marriage Act. So you are guilty of being punished under these two sections. Girl below 18, even with her consent, have a relationship with a boy, two crimes are committed. That is POSCO, Hindu Child Marriage Act, if he is an Hindu. Now, CGI, recently an international conference in Delhi, where all the DGPs of the police and the High Court judges and we lawyers were inviting, said, what is the state of affairs of POSCO? The state of affairs that out of 100 cases being reported, 92% acquittal. Why? Because girl not cooperating, changing the statement, the family of the girl not committing, some of them ending in the marriage. Because as per law, this is crime. But as per society, it was a love affair. They were studying together, they were neighbors, and they eloped. They came back in the anger, family files a complaint, section impleted, later on counseling session, society, and said, "ठीक है, शादी करो." By getting married, the crime is not absorbed. So by the time, you will be surprised, shocked. When the case came, the daughter was 18. The case was filed when the girl was 18. When case comes to the court, now the couple who is alleged under this crime, their daughter was 18. And she was fighting the case on behalf of his father. So just said, what is this? So there the Chief Justice of India, there is a joke, it is slightly getting serious. एक कोर्ट में एक जज साहब ने एक बुढ़े आदमी से कहा कि शर्म नहीं आती आपको, 65 साल की उम्र में लड़की छेड़ते हो. Do I need to translate? Everybody understand this much Hindi?
Yes, everybody understands Hindi.
तो जज साहब ने कहा, शर्म नहीं आती आपको, 65 साल की उम्र में आप लड़की छेड़ते हो. बोला, हुजूर शर्म तो बहुत आती है, लेकिन जब छेड़ा था इनको तो ये 18 की थी और मैं 20 का था, और आज ये मेरी बीवी है.
So relatable to Partha's book. So relatable.
So there the Chief Justice said, why can't we lower down the age of the marriage? One solution. फालतू में ये 20-20 साल, 25-25 साल मुकदमे चला के 92% रेट ऑफ एक्विटल है इस मुकदमे का. तो भैया, why you are filing the case? But the law is that less than 18, even your consent is meaningless in the eyes of the law. So as per law, it is a crime under both the acts. So Chief Justice ने कहा, एक तो court is overloaded, overburdened. दूसरा, destruction of the career, youth, prime youth, सारा पैसे की बर्बादी, resource की बर्बादी. चलो हम law को ही amend कर देते हैं. And as the society has changed now, girls are getting that age of maturity and adulthood fast. तो medical science ये कहती है कि age of puberty has come down to 15, and that is a good age to be a mother. So let's bring down this age to 15 years and see that we get away with this POSCO. Of course, it was his monologue speech. There was no question and answer. But I came back and I raised two questions. See, how law, there I will end. भैया, मैं बार बार कह रहा हूं, लॉ को अर्नोल्ड मत बनाओ, लॉ को लिटरेचर मत बनाओ. You say the state of mind which decides what is what. Laws has to be very clear, very concise, very defined. Applied in Assam has to be same, because we are talking of IPC, Indian Penal Code. We are not talking of Assam Penal Code or Punjab Penal Code or Bihar Penal Code. It is all about Constitution of India. We the people of India. So it has to be same CRPC and IPC. But see the travesty of the judicial system, which we are not questioning even after 75 years of independence. And we are calling it the Amrit Kal of the freedom. I don't understand what kind of Amrit Kal is this, where still 30 crore people are not even in the voter list. And nobody wants them to be in the voter list. So there he says, you bring down the age. I said, okay, fine, you bring down the age. But tell me, if I'm Ram Singh marrying a Sita or a Gita with her consent, just because she is 17 years, 11 months, 28 days old, I am committing the crime of POSCO. But if after marrying from Ram Singh, I become Abdullah and she becomes some Salma, then the crime is absurd. Because under the Muslim law, I am allowed to marry a girl at the age of 50. कैसा कानून है भाई? सबको 3 तलाक की चिंता है, इस कानून की चिंता नहीं है. Nobody is talking about this. So a crime is a crime. By changing the religion, how can a crime becomes non-crime? I don't understand.
Right,
So
sir.
I
We'll
asked
cut
the
short.
Chief Justice, I
Yes, sir.
asked Chief Justice of India, last I'm ending my point, Mosmi.
Right, sir.
I asked that even if you bring the law, amend the POSCO, lower down the age limit, what about the Child Marriage Act? If it remains the same, which says the age of marriage is 18, for a girl and for a boy 21 years, I may not be handcuffed, sent behind bar under POSCO law, but I will be sent behind bar for committing the crime of child marriage, and that is you all have seen in Assam. There I am.
Thank you so much for enlightening us, sir. Partha, whatever sir said, it seems that it is so relatable to your book. The age, the girl is 18, the boy is 20. I could relate so many things sir said to your story. So coming back again to the legal part, did you really read legal books to get into this? You spoke about POSCO.
Not exactly legal books or something like that, because reading legal books would be again a different issue. So I did consult to a number of advocate friends. So I explained to them that if this happens, how is a person going to approach, or how is he going to get punished? The irony is here that none of them could really tell me that how should it be done. Then even I consulted a few child right activists from Assam and few child right activists from my neighboring state Meghalaya. So I explained that these things is my story is all about. So can a child right organization or activist can come in? So they really gave a thought that may or may not be. So basically, it's a very fictionalized story. It has got nothing to do with reality, except for the fact that some of the scenes, some of the characters, mannerisms that I have written is inspired from the people that I have met in my life. Probably, since I said my story is based on a time, at a time when we did not have internet properly. I mean, we had internet, the charge per hour was 60 rupees, 70 rupees, or we did not have, WhatsApp, Facebook, or just Orkut was just there. So my story is based on in that time. So it develops and ends at that time only. So the legal point, I have not tried to keep things very legal, because it is definitely a very fictional story. So if I go and write the actual legalities, then it will be very I would be very wrong. Even one of my guest speakers, who is here, Dimple Sharma, she also helped me a lot. She works with the police department. So I shared my that plot with her, that how can this character, the story, go forward, and she really helped me in that. So that way, I think my ending took the most of it. The story was completed in 2022 April or May, probably. The ending took the rest 3-4 months, and finally the book, I think the book went to your desk in late October, I guess. So all these last few months, how the climax is going to reveal, or what is the going to be the total conclusion, it took time, especially the legal part, because I did not want to sound too legalish. I wanted to give it fiction because it's a fictional story. So fiction part is there.
So when we see that your friend is in the police department, she is here as a guest speaker. So like I would like to ask Ms. Dimple, like, do you find such cases that
Before that, can I introduce to the guest that I
would
have
love
here?
to. Yes, we would love to know your guest friends, because they are all eminent dignitaries. There are best-selling authors. There are,
I
scholars.
like everyone to please switch on their cameras. I want to see their faces. I haven't seen them for ages. So I'll start from the top. At the top right, we have Manoj Borgotaki. He's a dear friend, and he is a nice, very popular actor from Assam, doing really good stuff in Bombay and in Assamese movies as well. Next to you is Chayashree Pathak. She is the best-selling author of 2 novels, Till the End of Time and Destined Rendezvous. Then we have Dimple Sharma. So she is again an author who has written a very nice novel called Brohakta Biborwa. Then we have Mona Lisa Goswami. Mona Lisa Goswami is a friend, philosopher, guide. She is not into writing or something like that, but she reads a lot and she has got her inputs. Then there's in the car Bhargav Sharma. Bhargav Sharma is a football fanatic who has got this kind of analyze about regarding footballs and everything, and he also at times write short pieces. Then there is Niladri Chakraborty, sir. Sir, please switch on your camera. Sir again is a author of his book Cycle of Cliches is quite popular. Last not the least, we have Olivia Rajkumari. She again is a friend, philosopher, guide who is, and she also writes poetry at times. And there was two more guests I had invited, they could not make it. And few of my friends have joined on request of Olivia. So I'm sorry that I am not able to introduce you. So apologies on behalf. So that's it.
Thank you, Partha, and thank you, like all eminent guests present here today, like gracing the show. Yes, we are celebrating the launch of, Partha Prawal's book, Autobiography of a Paedophile. So one more question, yes, I wanted to hear from Dimple when she's in the police department. So a simple question, do you find such cases in the police department? Have you ever faced such cases where you find, you feel that the victim is not a victim? Victim nahi hota hai, but you know that victim is not. Sometimes you know the case that ye ho nahi sakta. Maybe the victim is not a victim, but you have to take in the case.
First
Yes,
of all,
Dimple.
let me introduce myself. I am Dimple Sharma. I work in Assam Police. But the thing is that I'm in the administration part, civil part. But yes, we do deal with all such kind of cases. I was at Partha while he was narrating story to me for the first time, and I got the opportunity to read his draft also. Later on, during his legal part, I have helped him in a way like most of the dignitaries like our additional SPs, I have talked to them regarding his case, and I have managed some of his contents to read, and I have passed some of the contents to those persons. They have helped him a lot, and as I am not associated with the legal part, I don't have so much of knowledge because this is the first time he is expressing such a case, which was first time in the history of Assam before POCSO. But right now we are getting so many cases of POCSO nowadays, and it is very unfortunate for us. But while he was writing his book, I was shocked to know about his courage. So how he is dealing the subject. Few days back when I was reading his book, I put a status on my WhatsApp regarding the book and with a cover. So many of my friends asked, is it a good book by the name? The name Paedophile. So many of them asked, is it a good book to read? So my first answer was, don't judge a book by the name. Just go through the book, what he has write, and the content and his courage. Everything is depicted, and most importantly, whenever he has created the scenes, like he is creating the courtroom, like the emotions, everything is lively. And I want to congratulate Partha again for this book.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Yes, if you read the book, dear readers, you will feel every scene is so realistically described. I'm no one to review here his book now because Professor Sethi is sitting there and he may not agree to me, because it is his part. He will review it. He will tell where if the scenes are portrayed realistically. But when as a reader I have read, it was like the scenes were in front of me, as if the court room was in front of me, the police department was in front of me, the child act, like everything, the characters were in front of me. Congratulations, Partha, for such a beautiful work. And it really needs courage to write such a book. We have one film person, I think, Partha, you have invited.
Yeah, Manoj.
Yeah.
Manoj.
So, Manoj sir, you are in the film industry. Do you feel that such stories can be accepted as a script to be a movie in future in, like, in your industry, in the film industry you are working in? What do you think? What kind of future, like, future prospects do we see? You have to unmute, sir. Manoj sir, you are in the mute form. When we read such books, sometimes we really have questions in our mind, like, can this script be a movie in future? Right, we do not know if the industry will accept. As Ajay sir has rightly told, we have movies like Pathan, and sir has narrated the entire story of Abba. A movie which is so unique. And when I read the book, the autobiography of a pedophile, I find this unique. And can we ever expect or hope this, book to be transformed into a movie? Yes,
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay. So now I cannot, tell if autobiography of a pedophile can be, make into a movie or not, because I'm halfway through. I'm reading it. So I have almost reached 150 pages. But whatever I have read till now, as you said, it has, Partha have written it very realistically, and the story is progressing in a very, I can call it a very cinematic way. It really engages as a reader, and obviously in films also we engage people and tell our story, and whatever we tell, we try to engage our audience. So of course, I'm looking forward to finish it and then to decide. I mean, I'm really, but I would love to congratulate Partha for writing such an honest and brave story. It is not easy to explore the vulnerability and the darker side of a teenage boy, So I'm really, I'm looking forward to, read the 100 pages of it. And of course, because literature is adapted in even in Assam, even in the world cinema, for a lot of time, a lot of great movies have been made, adapted by literature. So I think literature always enriches cinema. That is for true. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Now, coming back to Professor Sethi, like, if like today you are here as a guest of honor, but if I would have given you the book, Autobiography of a Pedophile, sir, how would you, welcome the book as to review? I hope sir is there. Okay, Partha, coming back to you when Professor Sethi joins, we'll get back to him with the question. And so, it's already 6:48. Okay, it's so nice to discuss literature, books, stories. Partha, now, what about your next book? Dr. Ajay Kummar Pandey, sir, has already hinted that, yes, the first book he must have taken 10 years, 12 years. Maybe his next plot is ready. So are you writing your next book? Somewhere it flew to my ears that your plot is ready. So are you ready with your next plot?
Actually, I have currently 3 plots playing cricket in my mind. They are playing test matches right now. So of those 3, I have written 3 chapters of one story. Actually, I'm trying to create a rock team universe in my stories, because all the protagonists are named rock team. So as usual, but this one is again, this story is based, I just give a small hint. The idea, I took the leaf out of it from my French high history second book, A Destined Rendezvous. in her book, diary plays a very important role. So in my, this plot also has got a diary, but it's totally different. How it is different? So it's basically two stories going parallelly. One in the modern time when COVID hits, and another, I don't know when it took place. It's just in the form of diary. So it's basically in Paedophile, it was the story of one individual learning from situations and growing up, maturing. This story is about the intricacies of relationships, the relationships that we have with our loved ones, our friends, our parents, maybe even our enemies. So how those relationships are affected, one so by this COVID thing, and another maybe once it's out, I'll know how. So that's the plot. And there is another plot which I plan to probably bring out towards the end of this year. That third plot is totally unromantic story. It has got alpha, it has got the Naxalite moment, it has got everything. So let's see.
Awesome. Great knowing that you are working on 3 plots. And I do not know, Professor Sethi is here, there was a question for him, because as a publisher, when I was questioned by my team, by many, that will you really publish this book? Because the term pedophile, I do not know how many of us understand the term pedophile. So when they heard so many, even my team, even whosoever designs the cover pages, and there are questions like, will you publish this book? What is this book about? So I would request all of you to go to read, to pick the book and read what is the story about. Maybe we will be able to relate so many stories, or real stories. So we have so many guests today, Partha has also invited many best-selling authors. I would request if they can, we have less time, yet we can, it is very inspiring when we get motivating words from best-selling authors. So Partha, yes, would you request your guest to speak a few words, so that I as a publisher get motivated to publish good content, and you as an author should get motivated to deal with more bold topics in future. Yes, Partha.
The stage is all yours, my friends. The stage is all yours. So I really don't need to call you personally. Yeah. So please take the
I would request, it's open now. Everybody can, put forth your views before we end the meeting today. And before we once again, finally congratulate Partha with applauses. Yes.
The stage is all yours. So let's start from Chaya.
Chaya herself is a best-selling author.
Thank you so much, Partha and Griffin Publications, for having me, and congratulations. I have read the book. I have completed the book. I think I took 2 weekends. I split it into 2 weekends. As I think the moment I finished it, the first thing I did was calling him, and hats off for such a for picking up such a courageous topic. You need courage. You need to know the topic. You need to know a lot of things. It is for fiction writing, I mean, I was telling him, it is like life. For creative writing, there is no rules. But when you pick up such a sensitive topic, an important topic where you need to put out facts, you need to show the legal aspects of certain thing, you need to do the basic research. And it is a very well-researched book. I thoroughly enjoyed it. The last part was like, boom. I mean, the way it picked up, and then I couldn't put it down. I was like, the moment the court scene started, it was like, it is difficult to put it down. So I think anybody who reads it, and of course, it is commendable the way he has written it, as Manoj has rightly mentioned, the dark side of a teenager's life. You need courage to put it down in such a plain white and black and white words, and then take it, wrap it in a story and put it to an end. It's a brilliant effort, and I am looking forward to all his next books. And congratulations to both the publisher and the author.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Niladri sir.
Yes, Partha, if you can give me 2 minutes, I'll just get on to a cab and then, yeah. So maybe we can hear someone else while I board the cab, and then
Okay, sir.
we can, yeah.
Mona Lisa, are you there? Mona Lisa, are you there? I think she's. Hello, Mona Lisa, are you there? No, she's not there. Olivia.
Am I visible?
No, you're not.
Am I visible now?
Yes.
Well, thank you, Partha, and thank you, Griffin Publications, for having me here. I'm very new to this kind of platform, so please excuse me if my words are not very prim and proper. When Partha, initially discussed with me regarding this book, I told him that your topic, the topic itself, and as well as the title that you have given is really very controversial, and I don't know whether our people are exactly ready to accept a book like this, and it would be very courageous on your part to come up with this story. At the same time, I felt that Partha's book actually raises questions of many men who ask many a times. In fact, I have been also dealing with certain cases of posh. So in that scenario, many men ask me that is being a man now become a problem for us, that we by default are considered as a rapist, a molester, or a pedophile, or maybe a criminal as soon as a lady points out at us. So I said at that time, it was always difficult to explain them the things, and I think the book that Partha has brought out has got these elements in it, which will maybe speak up on behalf of such thoughts of men, that maybe we need to go more and delve more into the nitty-gritties of the things to understand before implicating someone and making their life difficult just on the basis of a mere a mere complaint or a mere allegation. And that's all. I think I've not gone totally through the whole book. I've just started with the book, a few chapters now, but I'm thoroughly enjoying it, and I hope you will enjoy. All the other people who will be reading this book will enjoy it too. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bhargav, are you there?
Partha, I'm driving, so I think it's better not to start a video.
Okay.
See, I'm down with fever as well and cough.
Okay.
So voice, if it is okay for you guys, I just like to say about book, as everyone is saying. I'm from those lucky people who has already read the book, and the way Partha wrote means he has done very good job, because I'll tell you guys, Partha is basically a very lazy kind of guy, but the detailing he did. The first thing I told him after reading the book, that the way you have written it, the detailing you did in the book, this is very much appreciable. So really, I liked it. And the topic, everyone is saying the same thing. It's not easy to touch this kind of topic, and your efforts, man, it will shine. Everyone will like it, and people will appreciate your work. Once it might take some time, right? You are not people are not aware of all these things as of today. So it will take time, but one day this book will be a kind of which will be loved by all the people around the society who are at least kind of aware of the, I mean, socio things, all this. So those people will like your book. And I know Partha for 23 years. So I know he's probably, I was the person who read your first 100 poems, right, Partha?
Right.
Thank you so much, sir.
So
It's
Last Niladri sir is
yeah, so I'm keeping it now, and my wishes are there with you. Okay,
Thank you.
bye.
Niladri sir, are you ready now?
Yes, I'm in a cab, but still I'm really delighted to be a part of this session, Partha. Thank you so much for inviting me, and thanks to Griffin Publication also for organizing this launch. And so far, it has been a very enriching session for me, particularly Dr. Pandey and Dr. Sethi talking about a lot of issues that this book might bring to the fore, and also the perspectives of the other guests that we have heard so far. The only thing that I'd like to say is that Partha has done a commendable job, in terms of pursuing this particular book. I think I was one of those guys who read his manuscript to read this manuscript when it was kind of very, I think in one of its initial drafts, and my feeling was kind of, I was a bit skeptical, to be very honest, that whether this content would kind of transform into a full-fledged book or not, particularly because uh, you know the place from where Partha hails, Assam or Northeast, and please don't mind the background noise. I'm really sorry about it. I'm traveling, but if you look at the literature of our region, particularly Northeast, over the last 30-40 years, we mostly see a literature of what we can say dystopian literature, where we see stories of people suffering, people getting into terrorism and stuff like that. We are kind of overloaded with such kind of content. These are wonderful contents, should be read by each one and everyone, whoever wants to study English literature from Northeast India. But at the same time, we needed a digression, a kind of a diversion from this kind of literature. And I think Chayashri is really doing a great job. I have started reading her book, but I have not completed her book yet. But I have read the manuscript of Partha's book, and I feel that this is something that ensures that diversion. We are getting into we have started talking about other things than the socio-political turmoil of 1990s or early 2000, or we have started telling stories without the background of of terrorism or insurgency. And I mean, writers from Northeast, I have seen we are kind of stereotyped. Okay, you're a writer from Northeast, so you're going to write a story on terrorism and stuff like that. That's something that I've personally gone through. I've been rejected by a lot of publishers initially when I first sent my story. I mean, novel for publication, because I hadn't written about those things. Yeah, there are references, casual references to those incidents, certain incidents, but definitely it's not about terrorism and stuff like that. So this book, I'm sure, will enthrall the readers in terms of being a diversion from what people expect from the writers from the writers of Northeast. So I think wonderful job done by Partha. Congratulations, and yeah, that's about it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. It's already 7:04, and I would like to express my gratitude to Dr. Ajay Kummar Pandey, sir, who had given today he has given lots of knowledge about inputs. And I'm so happy to know that he is not only an advocate consultant, but also a literary person. I felt like he's just like one among us, writing poetry, writing books. He was also a journalist. Yes, Partha, you can also relate so much. You are a journalist, and so yes, we really get inspiration from such eminent personalities. And I would also before wind up, there are so many other guests here. I wanted Professor Sethi also to give his final words, would he accept this book if it was not approached by us, or generally to review the book, such books, or would if we wouldn't have invited him today, would he welcomed the book to review, because the title itself is very controversial. And the other guest presence here, we are running short of time, yet I would love to hear at least two sentences from you before we wind up, because we have invited you and we want to hear you out. So before they make up their mind, I also want to thank the person who connected me to Dr. Ajay sir. He's also a best-selling author and an entrepreneur. He's Durvesh Yadav. He told, yes, Dr. Ajay Kummar Pandey sir is the best person to speak on this topic, because he would have lots of ideas. Then it's really, thank you so much, Durvesh Yadav. If you are attending this, event, I would thank you for getting me connected to Dr. Ajay sir. And I would express my gratitude to Dr. Professor Shiv Sethi. I pulled him out of his classes and I told him, sir, you have to come today because this is a book with a unique theme. So again, my final call to all the guests, if you are willing to speak something and motivate our author, Partha Prawal, for his book. Okay, thank you so much. Heartiest congratulations, Partha. I would love to hear 2 sentences from you to the readers. What would you, so these we all were here today.
Mostly,
yeah.
Just before I say 2 sentences, I think for those who have not seen the cover,
would you like?
Yeah,
Okay, I will share this screen.
Yeah.
I couldn't, actually get the entire, I have to.
No,
Can you share it?
Yeah, definitely. I have the book on my hand.
Okay.
This is the cover. For those.
This is the last material. You remind me. So this is the book, Dr. Ajay sir. Hope you can see the book. Can we all clap for Partha? Because today we are formally releasing Partha Prawal's autobiography of a pedophile. Heartiest congratulations. And the cover page looks very beautiful and very artistic. But let me tell you, the cover page is also designed by our own author, Partha. And let one point to note here, when Partha gave me the cover page and when we released the cover page on social media sites, there was also a question, is this the character himself, Partha Prawal?
No.
Please read the book. The character is not the author. So it is very important to read a book before coming to a conclusion and making a decision, or write a conclusion. Yes, is this the story of the author himself? Because in my books also, my first book, I remember many compared me to the characters, whereas I was nowhere in the book. So it is very important for all of you to read the book to know what is in the book and the story. So heartiest congratulations. Can we at least hear claps for Partha, everyone, because we are recording this show. Okay, thank you. And it's 7:09, 7:10. We wind up here. This book is available on Amazon. This book will be soon available on Flipkart as ebook also, and Kindle. This book will be available internationally, and you will, whosoever is wherever, in any country, this book will be made available by Griffin Publication. Griffin Publication welcomes all bold topics to publish If your content is strong, we are ready to publish your book and we will definitely promote your book. So Autobiography of a Pedophile, we look forward to see it as a movie too. Yes.
Hopefully.
2 lines, Partha, to the readers before we thank our chief guest and guest of honor.
Thank you everyone for coming in such a short notice, and thank you Mosami, sir, Ajay sir, and everybody present here. So 2 lines is that just do buy the book, read it. It's a very I would say somewhere or the other you will be able to relate yourself to the characters, not the pedophilia part or not the anything part, but the rest goes around. It's a very beautiful love story. The book has got 4 to 5 love stories in it, out of which I won't say much, but it's a very, I as a reader, when I read the book now, I fell in love with few of the characters because I don't know, somehow they came out good, maybe. So I really love the characters. So that's it. Do buy the book and do enjoy reading it.
Thank you so much. My last sentences are expressing my gratitude to Dr. Ajay Kummar Pandey, sir. He is a renowned personality in India and worldwide. If you Google his name, you will find everything about him. I need not say much because I cannot say everything because the list is too long. Just Google his name, guys, and you will find and know who is he. And Dr. Professor Sethi, just Google his name and you can read him on all in all national dailies. And of course, now author Partha Prawal. So see you again with a new book, with a good story, with a new author. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank
Gratitude.
you so much. Thank you so much.